speak, protocols observed. Um, we started this thing 3 years ago, and some of you have been here from the beginning, and I thank you very much for the trust, for the confidence. And this event has gone through a lot to be where it's at now, but it's growing every year. We had awesome media coverage this year, awesome partners in this community, especially, and Caxton Media, and there's another publication based in Dubai called Travel Essence. I don't want to get into the trap of mentioning some people and omitting others. Some of you sitting in this room have given money to this event for it to get to where it's at. I really, really appreciate that. So from the beginning, there's been a call to make this a Pan-African focusing event and not just a South Africa focused event. And it was always the plan anyway. And I must tell you that Ryland Fisher sitting quietly over there is one of the people I sat down with 3 years ago to say, look, this is what I want to do here. This is a plan. And he was the first person to say, Solly, are you crazy? You can't just stop in South Africa. This has to be an African conversation. So he also deserves that initial push for this to be an African conversation beyond South Africa. It makes sense. Africa is the future. I really do believe that. And this kind of event has also made some people in politics very uncomfortable. Last year there were attempts to destroy it, to make sure it doesn't happen. A government-funded initiatives to make sure this thing does not happen. And I said to myself, even if there are 10 people in the room, it's going to happen. So it's come a long way, and it's not a political event. When you discuss destination branding, destinations are not like a cup of tea or a little company, a little NGO. They are massive, they are multifaceted, and you have to have a conversation as multifaceted as we've planned to have over the next 2 days, because destinations are influenced by things in politics, by things in civil society, in the media, in business, in the sports arena, in health, education, etc. So why do some countries or some cities around the world have more appeal than others? Why do people go to some places without even asking themselves questions, but they ask themselves a lot of questions before they go to others? Or what are the first things that people say about destination A as opposed to destination B? What are the negatives, what are the positives? And how does a destination focus on the positives to enhance them over time, and on the negatives to eliminate them over time? And this is what this discussion is about. We have no ambition to think we will solve all of Africa's problems overnight. These are not easy wins, but we had to begin a journey somewhere, and this is what it's all about. So those of you who are wondering, but why are we discussing politics, health, social justice? If you Google now, which is the happiest country in the world, and then it's going to be a country in the Nordic region of Europe, and if you ask why are they the happiest people, why are the citizens of those countries happiest, it will tell you because they are happy with how they are governed, they are happy with where the money goes when they pay taxes, they are happy that they have responsive counselors, whatever they call them in different parts of the world, etc., etc. So can't we have that in Africa? Why do we always have to say we can steal? Because stealing happens all over the world anyway. So why are you looking at our stealing and not the stealing that's happening in America and Europe? And that's a mistake that Africans do. I think Africa can and should lead. Why did South Africa want to pull out of the ICC? Because some president of America or of the UK was not arrested for stuff they did elsewhere? But we could be the first ones to say, well, you know what, the world, we're going to show you how we do these things in Africa. That's leadership. Leadership is not a popularity contest. It's necessarily lonely, because when you're a leader, you have to sit in places where you have to say no to the people who love you and yes to the people you are expected to hate. Mandela was such a leader. Mandela was able to say to a group of excited supporters in front of him, no, we're not getting rid of the Springbok emblem, because the Springbok, the Springboks belong to all of us. He was able to say that. Now, that's leadership. And when he said, I'm going to have coffee with Betsy Verwoerd, people were like, are you mad? That's betrayal. He said, no, I'm going to do it, and I'm sure you why I'm going to do it. When the Americans said, you can't bring Yasser Arafat, Fidel Castro, Muammar Gaddafi here, he said, no, but they are my friends. That's leadership. When the Chinese said, you can't bring the Dalai Lama to South Africa, he said, no, he's my friend. I'm going to bring him here. But you're also my friends. That's leadership. So when South Africa pulled out of the, or decided to vote against or to abstain in a United Nations resolution to defend the rights of LGBTIQ plus communities, now those rights are protected in our own constitution. That was failure of leadership. When South Africa frustrated the Dalai Lama's application visa twice to come to South Africa, that was failure of leadership. When President Mbeki allowed to be pressured not to meet the Dalai Lama when he came here, that was failure of leadership. So when you're a leader, you have to be able to say no, because it's the right thing to say no. You have to say yes when it's right. And people will follow you because you are principled. Africa can lead. Africa needs leadership. And leadership is not just in politics. Leadership is in all sectors of society. So this discussion, ladies and gentlemen, is about that. It's about changing the narrative, getting Africa to look into the mirror and have very uncomfortable conversations, because we very easily blame others for all sorts of things that happen in South Africa. In Africa, we blame apartheid, we blame the West, we blame one monopoly. But a lot of times, if you look in the mirror, actually it looks back at you and it tells you where the root of the problem lies. This is what this summit is about. To have conversations that say enough is enough. We can't be victims all the time, victims of our own mindset. We have to lead. We have to change certain things about the way we run Africa. And then we have to make those Africans in the diaspora proud to be associated with Africa. There are many people sitting out there who just want to do good. I mean, I look at them sometimes I want to cry. There's Africans sitting in Dubai, in America, in Toronto, in Nigeria, in Amman, all over the world, who want to come and do good in Africa, but they can't. There are Zimbabweans, awesome Zimbabweans, sitting around the world. They look at their country, they cry, but they're afraid to go there because the leadership that is in their country, and in other countries in Africa, doesn't make it easy for them to come and be positive contributors. So African civil society must speak back, and it must demand proper ethical leadership. That's what the summit is about, ladies and gentlemen. So over the next 2 days, you're going to hear some really, really awesome speakers. And as I said to you, some of them have been, with this event since the beginning, and I really thank you. And those of you, the sponsors, people like Total South Africa is here, Grow Bank, the City of Cape Town, West Grow, the National and the Provincial Convention Bureau, South African Cities Network. Those people who said, you know what, let's work with this guy, with these people to push the boundaries. I thank you. We have not reached all the financial requirements we need to do this thing, but I believe that the brand is growing stronger and stronger, and the fact that you are here means that you know there's potential in this brand, and I would like you to keep walking the journey with us, because Africa is asking for this thing to come out there. The kind of excitement that's out there for this event just humbles me. So you're all co-creators for being here, for your views, for your advice. Sometimes I don't seem to be listening, but I can tell you I listen. I really do listen. And when I sleep in my bed at night, I listen to all the things that I get told, and I try to change the way I do things. So enjoy the summit. Thank you very much.